very, very much.
See?
Oh, that too, huh? Like butter, huh? I want to read you a quote from last week's LA Times. Has AIDS in the theater changed the culture? Probably the answer is yes. I've heard a lot of middle-class heterosexual people define their knowledge of AIDS by saying, I saw the normal heart. The landmark production produced by the Public Theater in 1985 was one of the first plays to call public attention to the epidemic with allegations that the government and the press had been slow to respond to AIDS. The play you are about to hear is one that is very close to my heart and has been ever since I first saw it. It touched me and changed me. I knew it was a film I had to make, and I am thrilled and excited that the movie is now drawing close to becoming a reality. For me, the normal heart is about everybody's right to love, no matter who they are. It is also about the early years of a strange new illness that, because it appeared to be only striking gay men, was allowed by the powers that be to turn into a plague. And I would like to dedicate this reading of the play to the 3 members of the original cast who have died from this plague. Larry Lott created the roles of David, Hiram Keebler, and the examining doctor. Billy Diacutis created the role of Tommy Boatwright. And of course, Brad Davis, who created the role of Ned Weeks. Brad died raging furiously in the true nature of the part he played, and in so doing forced Hollywood to pay heed to the deplorable ostracism and discrimination that people with AIDS face in the entertainment industry. Before we begin the reading, I would like to acknowledge some very special people who are here tonight. 2 people connected with the birth of the normal heart have died, not from AIDS. One was the play's original producer, its father, Joe Papp. And this is what Joe wrote about it. I love the ardor of this play, its howling, its terror, and its kindness. It makes me very proud to be its producer and its caretaker. His widow is with us tonight, a woman Larry has also credited with being of inestimable help to him, Gail Merrifield Papp. Whatever you are, Gail, I promise you and Joe that I shall do my best to match Joe's passion and love for this play as I now become its caretaker. The other person equally as important to Larry for his inspiration, Dr. Linda Laubenstein, upon whom the character of Dr. Emma Bruckner is based, has also died in the prime of her life. She was a legendary doctor who was at one point almost unbelievably personally taking care of almost every AIDS patient on the East Coast, hundreds of them when there weren't many more than that in existence. And I'm particularly sad that I missed my opportunity to meet her, which was in fact scheduled to happen only weeks after her unexpected death. I'm pleased her parents, Priscilla and George Laubenstein, are able to be with us this evening. I also want to thank Jerry Sachs and his extraordinary cast for tonight's performance. And finally, I would very much like to pay tribute to a man who has dedicated the last 12 years of his life ranting and raving about this emerging plague, a plague predicted to infect 1 billion people by the turn of the century. He has been called a loudmouth, crazy, an outrageous pain in the ass. And tonight I would like to thank you, Larry Kramer, for being all of the above, and for demanding the attention of an often indifferent and callous society. Homophobia is another disease that has to be cured. It's time to get beyond the fear and the ignorance and bigotry in this country. In a healthy and mature society, we must accept the fact that all human beings deserve dignity and respect and basic human rights, no matter what their gender, color, religious beliefs, or sexual orientation. All of this sounds so simple. I wonder, why does it have to become so complicated? We all need to open our hearts to love and compassion, to be able to receive it and give it, because I firmly believe that when a cure is found for this disease, it will be because of love and compassion, as much as it will be because of science. And because we will have finally come to grips with the message of this wonderful play, The Normal Heart. Thank you all for being here.